All right, I am making watch bands this weekend, and so that's what you see in front of you. And I wanted to kind of explain this process a little bit, so you can kind of understand how much work there is involved. And also, I want you to understand the learning process of what I've been going through here, right? So I'm refining these much better. I mean, the whole idea is like get better at what you do, right? If you keep doing the same thing the same way forever, I mean, unless you nailed it super perfect from the beginning, I mean, what are you doing? You got to get better at it. So this is my process. It's probably not as professional as what a lot of other watch guys are doing, but I'm fitting each band to each watch. So I just finished these two. Now they have to get stitched, and there's going to be some more trimming going on there. But what I'll do is I'll take a watch and figure out what I want to do. Now this particular watch, this is the Seiko Land Monster, right? This is the Seiko reissue of the Turtle. Both of these have 20 millimeter lug width here, which I think is a little narrow for such a large watch. Okay, when I say large watch, I'm talking about the size of the case. So what I've been doing is I've taught myself how to step this in, right? So here's another version of this. Yeah, get excited about this look. This is not how this watch came. I put a different movement in this watch with this black dial. I'll show you this later when I get another watch in. But what's going to happen here is this is going to fit in here. It's a little snug right now. I'll trim it a hair so it'll fit. But the idea here, let's see if the other piece will fit. The idea here is that it'll step out, right, to the width of the lugs. I hope that's showing up on camera for you. Because it looks better wide, in my opinion. Now, the other thing I'm doing is if you look at these two pieces, you see how they taper? See how this is tapering nicely here? Nice and thin here. But it's real fat here. Same thing on this one. That's because I want to avoid what you see on my wrist right now. You might notice how fat that's sticking out. And that's a bit of a turnoff to a lot of people. So I'm trying to rectify that by thinning the parts. And I was just about to get into that. And I thought, since I'm doing it, let me explain how this works. I'm putting black on these watches here. And one of the things I have to do first is on the part, this is the outside piece that you're going to see. This happens to be the buckle side. It's going to have a buckle on it. I skive this using a skiving knife, which, by the way, I'm not going crazy with sharpening this. Like you'll see a lot of people, I should have a leather stroke, but I basically take this on this fine sandpaper that way and this way, and I get that super razor sharp. It's fine enough for me, and I'll touch that up throughout the day. But I skive it, and I use this World War II survival mirror, of all things, right here. And then I remove the material with this way. And it's a process, all right? Just keep doing it until you get it perfect. And you might be able to see on here, I hope this is reading and it's focusing. You'll see it's thicker here and it thins towards this end here so that when it folds over and is flush here, you don't notice it so much. But I'm giving it that much of a fold over here because I'm creating a pad in there, right? That makes it real stiff here. And the reason I want that is because, I'll show you on this watch here, when you do that, this band will take that shape and it'll stay registered on your wrist where you want it. Okay, there's a band here that came off the same watch, and you'll see I wasn't doing that with this band. So it was kind of thin, very comfortable. If you have a smaller cased watch that's more of a dress watch, then this is very comfortable, and it's fantastic. It looks awesome on here. It's a real good looking band. I was very happy with it, but it wasn't registering on the wrist the way I wanted it to. That's why I started making them thinner. We're going to get to this band with the Willard in a moment, but just let's stick on this one while we're here. So the idea here is I like to wear my watch a little bit more inboard on my wrist I like this to be right here on my wrist, okay? And you'll see here that that's kind of the shape of my wrist. I've got about a 7 3/4 inch wrist, especially when it's warm. When it's cool out, my wrist shrinks to about 7 5/8, a little bit more than 7 5/8 of an inch. We're talking 16th to 1/8 inch increments here, but that's the shape of the wrist. And for me, I just want it to register there. That's just me. It's not the same for everybody. And what I've learned is that the section with the buckle should be longer, because the way these bands work is they always want to rotate on your wrist towards the buckle. So it will move this in this direction on your wrist. So the shorter you make this piece, the longer you make this piece, the more you're likely to keep this watch inboard on your wrist. This is not the same thing for everybody. This is just me. I'm making these for myself. It might not be the same for you. Okay. But you'll see here, again, how thick this is everywhere and how big this section is here. And this is what I'm trying to avoid right now. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. So part of the process here is that, I make the band for the watch case, which is why it's difficult for you to order a band from me. I either need to have a watch that has the same case you own, or you're going to have to send me a watch if you want me to do this for you. But basically, I skive this down here until I can get it to pull through exactly perfect. Because I want no play in here. I want no play this direction or obviously this direction, right? When it's all sewn up and glued up and everything else. That's what I'm going for, okay? I can only do that if I have the watch in front of me. You might even notice it's a little fat here. That'll all get trimmed back to fit better. So I have to do that with both pieces for this watch. And actually, this is the part that goes through here. This is the one for this side. This one is going to go through this side. And that's going to be our band for this watch, okay? The buckle section of the band always goes north, right? It goes from 12 o'clock up. That's just how that works. So on this one here, my next step is going to be folding this over and gluing it down. There's a whole process with that where I get it in place and I use this here, and I have a spoke here that I run through here and poke the glue out, and I burnish the inside of it back and forth like this a bunch of times. I do the same thing on this end, and once that's folded over, I take this piece and glue it in there. But what's going to happen with this part is I've got to take this now. I'll just show you a little of this real quick. And I'm going to skive this down to get it kind of thin to where the buckle goes, because I want to keep the end towards the buckle thinner. And you'll see this a lot fatter than the band. I don't typically do this like this. Usually I'll get it closer in size. But I'll thin this up. I'll get it real thin at this end here. And I'll glue this on here. And after it's glued on, I will trim that with this to the black part of the band. And it'll be perfect, just as these are. There's still a little more trimming to go, but that's where I'm at this moment. Now let's get to the other watch here, because you've seen this already. I get a lot of compliments on it. People really loved this Seiko here with this green band. I'm very proud of this band on this watch. I think it looks great. You'll see here, because of the shape of the case, I shaped that with those little ears so that they fit snugly up to the case, right? Again, 20 millimeter. So I'm widening the band so to me it looks more masculine and it eats up more space on the wrist. So this time, and I love this band, by the way, very pleased with this. I have worn this out. I've worn it at work, all of that. It's just, it's a little bit too nice. You know, it's kind of, it's a little dressy. You know, this is what you'd call like high style sort of thing. Like maybe you'd see this in a magazine or something. You wear this if you want to go out and look fancy. You know, you want to show off a little bit. Some people thought it looks girly. This is I made this from an Italian handbag. It's real leather, but it's been embossed and dyed to look like a green ostrich pattern. And it works perfect. I did line this with Bison hide. That's another thing I'm doing right now. Let's just jump to that right quick so you understand. This band here that came off of the land monster here, it's lined with calf skin. Nothing wrong with that. It's very comfortable, and I love it. It's supple, great band. I made a better version of it here for this land monster. You'll see I have a bunch of land monsters. There's a video coming up on the land monsters probably later today. So this one here, again, I also lined this with, as you can clearly see, the calf skin. Very supple, very soft, feels great up against the skin. I used this stitching here, and it's a bit orange in color, which worked out great with the orange accents on the second hand and inside the bezel here, dive bezel. It has an internal compass. We'll get to that later, but these watches will come with either a black or an orange dial. And I thought that would pull the color and look great. Very happy with this. This is thicker here. It's thinner here, but not thin enough to my liking, right? That's what I'm working on right now. Now, what happened was a friend of mine, you guys all know him, Chad, he has this same watch, and I gave him one of my bands, and it was lined with the calf skin. And the issue is that Chad wears his watch 24/7, wears it in the shower. Don't wear your watch in the shower. It's not good. It's warm water will work with the air that's inside the watch, and you'll get condensation inside your watch. It's not good for the watch. Chad doesn't care. He's just one of those guys. But he sent me a picture, and he explained to me that the leather, the cowhide inside here had rotted away a little bit. He could scratch it with his fingers and it was falling apart, which is natural because you're exposing it to moisture every single day. Not smart. But the bison hide on the outside, hey man, he told me, he's like, that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. Bison hide holds up to water very, very well. So on this band, I lined it with bison hide because this leather was so thin, I needed to thicken up the band. And I realized, you know what? I need to make these bands, if they're going to be in the water, like a dive watch, where it could be in the water, it should have bison hide lining. Okay, and that's what I just did here. So this is bison hide, this is bison hide. So this, when I'm done with this band will not rot. Now again, you're not supposed to be wearing this every day in the water, but I think you can. So the idea is going to be here, my next trip to Jersey, when I'm going to be surfing pretty much every day, I'm going to wear one of these in the ocean to prove to you that it can be done and that these will hold up pretty well. I'm going to prove it to you. So you'll see. Anyhow, I'm about to do this black one. What I'm doing this time, instead of the green, is I've got two here that I'm making. I'm making one for myself, and I'm making one for Chad. Okay, so you'll see here, parts are already pre-cut. Right? I've already worked these parts. This is the buckle side, so this goes to 12 o'clock. See what that's going to look like, and you can see the fit of the band at where it meets the case. I think that's real sharp. That's just my opinion. That's me. Not trying to sell you on it, but that's my thing. Now, if you look close here, look at the second hand. I hope this is focusing for you. You'll see that there's a little red dot on that. They call that the stoplight second hand. And what I'm going to do on this watch is I'm going to use, on this band, I'm going to use red thread to stitch this one. It'll give it a little bit of a pop, and it'll pick up that red color on there. This is the sort of thing I'm into, man. Might not be your thing, but it's what I'm doing. I'm going to do this on both of them, and I'm giving this away to him. He's a friend. He hooks me up all the time. So, you know, Chad, you're getting what I give you. I think it's going to be cool. You'll see here on this watch, on this band, and this was a quick prototype. I'm taking my time on these today. This one I knocked out real fast as I possibly could. The holes aren't perfect. I'm going to fix those. But you'll see here I used blue thread because of the blue dial and blue bezel insert on this watch. I just thought, hey, why not? That's cool. And I'm very, very pleased with the way that turned out. I think it's super tough. By the way, I was hiking in this band. It was over 80 degrees in the mountains of Arizona, and I had my wrist swelled. It got a little snug. I didn't have to put another hole in it. I might. Um, I try to fit these bands so that one hole is enough. I think that, of course, you see a bunch of holes here. These are not holes for the buckle. You see on this one here, there's one hole. You see on this one here, there's one hole. When it's a stiff leather, you can use the one hole and wear it. It'll still register on my wrist, but it'll be loose enough for me to move it. And then when my wrist swells, there's enough room still in there with that single hole. I'm golden. On my earlier ones, I wasn't doing that correct. So I had to add more holes to make it bigger when my wrist swelled. So that's where I'm at. I just thought you guys might find this interesting. I've done videos on my making a watch band before. I did one, it's like over an hour. It's the whole process. But at that time, I was not skiving as much as I am now, trying to thin these parts up. So that's it. I think that's the end of this video too. You'll see, if you're interested, stay tuned. By the time I do the land monster video, I'll give you a sneak peek here. I'll give you a sneak peek. This here is the black one. You'll see the case is polished on this, and you'll see that the bezel is just a steel, like just a chrome color. It's stainless steel. The orange one typically came with the black bezel. What I did was I swapped out that movement because I think that looks cooler. Look at that. I think that really pops. This is the one I have a problem with because the mechanism is busted in here. So I'll get that repaired at some point. But I think that looks pretty cool too with the orange dial with the black compass bezel in there and the stainless steel outer ring. I have another orange one coming that I'll keep with the black, and I'll have all four of these, and I'll make a decision of whether I'll sell any. But I'll probably keep at least 3 for myself. There might be a 4th to sell. I'll let you guys know. But that's it. I hope you guys appreciate what I'm going through here. It's a learning process, but now I think I've figured it out. So you'll see it. You'll see. You're just not going to see it here. It's a tease. So if you want to see how these turn out, come back for the next video. You know, it's part 2 coming up. I promise. Be good to one another. I'll catch you in the next one.